What's louder, the noise of the world or the silence within you? Most people fear silence, not because of the emptiness they feel, but because it's revealing. It helps to reveal the deeper and more underlining truth of yourself and the beliefs and opinions of other people towards you. It may feel uncomfortable, sitting with yourself, being by yourself, your own thoughts, your own mind, just you. Because silence forces you to face yourself. That's why most people drown it out with noise. Whenever you found yourself in a silent environment, by yourself, or maybe with other people but in complete silence, you've probably always looked for some sort of noise in some sort of way. If it means music, if it means scrolling, if it means creating unnecessary conversations with the people around you for the sake of it. That fear of silence, the uncomfortableness of silence. And the reason why it's so uncomfortable is because silence removes distraction. It's just you, maybe someone else. It's just you, someone else, and your mind, or maybe just you and your mind, right? And it sparks true thought. And the reason why it gives this uncomfortable effect is because most people don't want to have to be by themselves. They don't want to have to question themselves. They don't want to have to dive deep into their true thoughts, their true belief system. They like that comfort of distraction, not only physically, but the distracting of the mind. They don't like silence. They don't want to have to question themselves on what they truthfully believe in and what's going on in the world. They'll prefer to shy away and to hide behind a phone, or to hide behind any other sort of noise that distracts them away and keeps them away from having to face themselves, having to face the truth. Have you ever found yourself starting unnecessary conversations with maybe even people you don't know, just to feel that awkwardness? Or like I said, have you turned to listening to music or scrolling on social media because something feels awkward? The silence feels awkward. And that's because silence feels heavy. Silence holds a lot of truth and deeper understanding, ones in which we feel we are not ready for, but I feel it's necessary. And the truth is, silence not only feels uncomfortable, but it actually holds a lot of power. For example, that pause when someone says I'm fine when you know they're not fine. What holds more power? What gives you more understanding? When they say I'm fine, or that moment after they said I'm fine, that now holds that power, that silence of after they've said I'm fine, that makes you now question, you know what? It's silent. They're silent. I don't think they're fine. It's not them saying, oh no, I'm fine. It's that silent period after which makes you question it. It really uncovers truth. Silence really speaks 1,000 words. Silence is a space where the truth lies, because it's not what is said, it's about what isn't. Another example, a moment of eye contact speaks 1,000 words. Have you ever glimpsed at someone, or someone's glimpsed at you, you've glimpsed at one another, and you feel like so many emotions is processed for you? You feel like you know that person when you may not before, and you've just sort of looked at each other. It speaks 1,000 words, right? More words than words could say themselves. Or when someone just leaves without any explanation, just disappears. That closure speaks more than any excuse they could give later to why they left. The fact that they left gives you closure. That maybe, you know what? They may give me an excuse later to, oh, they just had to jolt out and they just had to go. But you know there's probably a deeper truth to that. That silence of their absence speaks more than any excuse or words or anything they could say later on. And the conclusion here is that if you listen closely, silence will truthfully tell you everything you need to know. And also I've found that silence exposes real connection. For example, sitting in silence with people or someone, does it feel awkward? If you need constant conversation to not feel awkward or to not have awkward moments, it probably isn't real connection. It's performance, right? You're both having to force conversation so it doesn't feel weird. With true people, genuine people, people in which you understand one another, that's real connection. You're not forcing it, so then that awkward silence isn't there. You can just sit in silence and still feel understood. You can understand one another even when it's silent. That's true connection. The same goes with a parental connection. Your mother, for example, you may have gone through something, you may have hurt yourself. It's not her saying, are you okay, which makes you feel better or more protected. It's her sitting with you. It's that silence which actually holds more power and real connection, more than any words she could say. It's the hug after you've hurt yourself that makes you reassured and feel understood. So, how do you use silence as a strength? Stop feeling the need to fill in gaps in conversation. If you find yourself just trying to force conversation, it may feel awkward, but it will uncover the truth to you. It will uncover whether or not the person you're with, is there a true underlying connection? Is it forced? Is it performance? Is it theatrical? Are you truly friends? So it will help you really understand who your friends are and who you maybe understand more, who understands you more. That really helps you to find the true relationships and the true connections of your life. Let silence create space for deeper thought. If you're ever by yourself, don't try and distract your mind. Don't just try and scroll and do all these things. Sit there with yourself. Let it spark deeper thought. Let it uncover truth which maybe you don't want to uncover, but maybe will be good for you. Just sit by yourself and see what you think. See what thoughts provoke in your mind. See what creative ideas you may have. Silence can be a powerful tool because most people don't want to sit in silence. So if you decide to do that for yourself, you're going to find a lot of deeper, more underlining truths about the world, about yourself, that you're going to uncover than anyone else will ever. So if you decide to do that, you'll learn more about yourself than you ever thought you could. Because most people live life trying to answer every question, but silence is the answer. Because it uncovers deep truth that cannot be revealed by words alone. Silence holds a lot of power when trying to uncover the way people think of you, right? In silent moments, like I said before, if you're just sitting with someone, instead of forcing conversations, you can tell very much based on the way someone's moving towards you, they're acting around you, even without words, which really helps to uncover maybe how they genuinely think of you, right? For example, during this silence, are they trying to escape? Are they trying to get away from you? Do they mind just sitting in silence with you? If they do, they may think of you highly. They may actually really like you. They may like that connection you have between one another. If it be friends or any sort of connection, right? But if they're just trying to escape, they're trying to get away, there's probably a deeper, more underlining truth there. So it helps you really to discover who your friends are based on action rather than words, based on silence rather than words, right? Sitting there with someone, it really uncovers a lot. Sitting there with yourself, it really uncovers a lot. Helps you find deeper truth that you cannot find through words alone, like I said. So silence isn't just emptiness, it is where truth sits. The deeper truth about you and others that's waiting to be heard. So when you accept and embrace silence as a tool, rather than a burden, you finally hear yourself and uncover deep truth and thought.